we don't know how long this is gonna last, but we're trying it for the first time. Let's go. All right, we'll start here. You want to introduce, or you want me to introduce?
You introduce, dude.
How's the audio? You good?
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you, dude. That microphone's better, bro.
I can hear you too, dude.
Can you hear me? Okay,
Yeah.
Good. All right.
And we're live.
It's like, bienvenidos, Ana. Shit. What? Okay.
Y rueda la pelota.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Welcome back to. This is our second episode. The first episode is not out, but this is our second episode.
We're gonna release two at the same time, bro.
The Specifically Random Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Jonathan Longo.
Jair Monares.
Let's get it. First of all, let's just. Last week we had a podcast. It's not out yet, but it will be out soon. It went well, I think. You said you listened to it. You just haven't edited it yet, but you listened to it.
Yes,
we still
need
a logo. We still need all that, but we're going to get to that. Let's just begin with our specifically random topics. And I have a topic. I know you wanted me to bring a topic because I told you this is your podcast, but I have a topic. We'll talk about it. But go ahead. How many topics do we have today?
I have two.
Two topics.
One is it made the news, national news, international news.
Right.
The other one, it's pretty local.
Okay.
But
all right, let's start with let's start with the local one, and then we can go to the.
Well, the local one, it's the Ontario, the explosion that happened on Tuesday. What was it? Tuesday.
Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, I was at work. I didn't hear anything. I didn't see anything. I got a bunch of texts and Snapchat, Facebook. You know that the whole city shook because this huge explosion. And what was it on Maple and like Francis and San Antonio?
Francis and San Antonio or Euclid?
San Antonio.
San Antonio.
Yeah. So I guess it was a huge explosion, and they're still looking into it today. They just cleared the safety zone, the evacuation zone, so people can come back today at 5 p.m. Like I read over 80 families were affected, dude.
Really?
Over 80 families.
The only time, I'm gonna be honest with you, the only time I checked it out was the day that it happened.
Yeah.
And a bunch of news happened, right? So like, I saw the explosion. I was teaching, so I was actually in the third floor, and I didn't hear anything. But my wife, she heard it, and she was like. She was texting me while whatever, and she was in the second floor. I think they were eating. I think it was like lunchtime or something.
Yeah, it was around 12.
Yeah, and then I just look at Twitter for the news because it's like, dude, right away. Yeah. It's like right there.
Yeah.
So I looked up Ontario explosion, dude, and it was just like what the how do I explain it? The crazy. I don't know what you wanted to talk about, but it looked like a firework at the beginning, like.
Have you seen the videos?
Yeah, like fireworks, and then all of a sudden it was like a bomb.
Yeah,
boom.
Exactly.
But it was like a legit, like
it shook, like you can see, like the shockwave, dude, that it produced. It was. I seen the videos. I mean, that's all I've seen, but
right.
There's I've seen 6 different videos where like they're recording, and it's just like a fire, and then it's fireworks, and then it just. The people had to stop recording because it shooks them, you know.
There must. I don't know. I don't know if you researched it, but I mean, unless they all got lit at the same time, there must have had something different in there as well that caused that, right? Because I don't know. I don't know what would have caused like what would have caused like the fireworks, and then boom, a huge explosion. Other than I don't know. I'm not an expert, so
yeah. I mean, they're still investigating, and they said that the guy had multiple containers.
Yeah, gallons, right? Like 27.
27, each container of 60 pounds each of fireworks.
Right.
So that's a lot of powder, dude. But then I read there's rumors that they were making fireworks, so they had powder.
Right. Oh, that.
Yeah, so they had powder, they had fireworks, and
the craziest thing. Well, there's 2 crazy things that I saw. The crazy thing is that the news was there, right? So the helicopter was up.
Yeah.
And basically, like. You saw the helicopter, and you saw the helicopter zoom in into. I don't know if you must have saw this video, but they zoom into like he's like, oh, I think a trailer's on fire.
Yeah.
They zoom in, and all of a sudden you hear him go, oh, okay, and they like zoom out real quick, and people figured out that
there was a body.
There.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
And people quickly got the
But
screenshots.
yeah, but if you don't like look at the like the
You can't see it
video,
at first glance.
you can't like there's
Yeah.
no way. Somebody has to tell you that there was a body
Yeah.
there, or figure out that there
Yeah.
was a body there, and then you'll be like, okay, yeah. But if you look at it, like they told me there was a body there, and it took me like 5 minutes to just look at it. I was like, where, dude? I don't see it. But that was the crazy video, and then I saw like an apartment building, like it blew out all the windows.
Yeah. I think the neighboring apartments.
I was like, what? Dude?
I heard it. Actually, I heard it on a KFI, which is like a radio station on the AM.
Right.
640. And they always talk about like local news. And they talked about that.
Right.
So that's how I know like it got pretty far.
Right.
I don't think it made national news. I mean, I'm not sure.
Right.
But that's what I heard about it. And then they interviewed people like neighbors. And one of the girls, a lady, one of the neighbors, she said that there was a first explosion that shook the house.
Right.
She thought it was over. She actually said that the explosion like knocked her down.
Right.
She said she got up. She thought everything was over, and then the second one blew out her wall. And then she said that like all these fireworks came inside her house, so she had to like duck because there were fireworks blowing into the house. Dude.
That's crazy. that's
dude.
crazy. I did see a video. It wasn't like really clear, but you can see it was like a mom who just like started recording, and you can just like she's like asking her kids, "Are you okay?" And then it's like the second one was like, poof.
Yeah.
And it was, and that's where the video ended, right?
Yeah.
Like, not to say that it was just like a big hit that she probably just dropped the phone and was like, screw this, you know? But dude, it was crazy. And that was like well, my sister-in-law lives, I wouldn't say like kind of near, but towards that direction, much closer than here to there. And dude, she was like, whoa, what the heck was that? And it was crazy. The videos, man, what is so crazy is that it's like everything is instantaneous. Bro, I put it on Twitter like 10 minutes after it happened. Like literally, Ontario explosion. Or once I figured out, maybe not 10 minutes, maybe like 30 minutes. Bro, it was like Snapchat videos.
Yeah, well, I went to work. I mean, I was at work when that happened. And I didn't pay much attention. Like, I was just getting updates, you know. And then when I finally went to my lunch, I think. And then I checked it out. And I started seeing videos. On Facebook, I'm on like one of the group pages for Ontario City. Right. And that's where it started blowing up, dude. That's where I seen the picture. And like you said, at first glance, I was like, you know, they're just showing a regular picture. But then somebody said, oh, top center. And I was like, whoa. Then I seen the body and I was like, damn, dude, that's crazy,
yeah. And it's kind of sad because like you don't want the videos to be out there. Yeah. Because you know, what if that was, well, I don't know. Let's just say, like, what if that was your family, dude? Like, you don't want all that crazy because, like, you're finding out through, like, social media, and it's crazy, dude. Like, I don't know. Is it? I don't know.
Because there was no, I think at that point there was no confirmed deaths yet. Right. And then after they said 2 people. Right. And then they figured out, well, that was one of the persons that died. Dude. So it was 2 brothers. 2 brothers. One of them was he was 38. The other one was 20. He graduated from Ontario High.
Oh, really?
That's what I read. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because, like, once that happened, my first thing was, like, people were in there. There's no way there was no people in there. Because, one, no one's going to school, right? Like, everybody's at home chilling. So, even in, like, the around neighborhood, all the kids were there probably, unless they opened I think they opened some schools, so maybe they're not there. But I was just, like, thinking, like, whoa, dude, that could have been way worse. But luckily, it wasn't like a, well, I don't want to say luckily, bro, because people still died. But, like, it could have been worse. Like a gas line, you know, exploding. That could have been, like, dangerous.
That could have been really bad, yeah. It could have gone, I mean, way worse.
Even worse. Right? I know 2 deaths is bad still, but, like, way worse than what it is. But yeah, other than that, I didn't research it, dude. I was just, like, I saw it for a little bit, and I was like, man, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, there's like, still,
how much do they have?
There's still a lot of ongoing investigations. I heard that even the FBI got involved, that they were in the city. So, I mean,
like how much fireworks can you have? That's crazy, bro.
Well, now people are saying that they seen truckloads unloading, whatever they were unloading, like every night at the house. So, I mean, like I said, it's ongoing investigation.
How do they light? The question is like, how do they light up?
Sorry, I'm not.
Oh, Alexa, stop. Sorry, everybody. That was Alexa.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Well, that's my question too, because, like you said, it could have gone way worse. So I'm thinking maybe the house went on fire and then
Right.
everybody got out.
Right.
Maybe the brother's trying to get back in.
Right.
And then that's when the second explosion happened.
Right.
And, you know, I don't know. I mean, we'll see soon enough. But I brought that topic up because, like I said, in that group, it sparked a lot of debate, dude, like among the community.
Right. What was the
Because-
debate? Let's see. Give me the debate. I want to hear this debate.
So that debate, the main one, it started because of GoFundMe pages.
Okay.
So they made a GoFundMe pages for the people that died, the two brothers,
Okay.
for the family.
Okay.
You know, because they lost
Oh,
their
maybe
house.
I did see that.
They lost their house. They were their last names were Pius.
Maybe I
think
did
it was
see that. Maybe.
Ricardo and
And people commenting all these crazy stuff, right? Is
yes.
that- okay. Okay.
So they made this page and they're trying to collect funds. It's already up to like 35,000 or something.
Okay.
So it's getting a lot of attention. So then
Okay.
people are saying, why are they getting a GoFundMe page when they were the ones responsible for it? And then so then now a lot of the victims, I don't know if all of them, but I know a lot of them, they made GoFundMe pages for them too, and they're getting like very little money from what I seen like
The
probably like 5 or
victims
6.
in the sense of
In the sense the surrounding
the
neighbors,
surrounding-
that
like
lost
the
their
people who have
house.
to like fix their house and
right,
fix their windows
they're
and all that stuff.
evacuated and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So they.
Oh, so the debate is
So why should they get a GoFundMe? You know,
Mm.
if they were the ones responsible for causing that, you know.
But that's the thing, right? Like doing well, I guess it is if they have all those fireworks in there,
Yeah.
right? But were they you don't know what happened in there like to light it up, right? Like maybe they
Right.
had nothing to do with it. Maybe it's somebody who lives in their house that it wasn't there during that time, you know?
Right.
But we don't know how they lit it or whatever happened.
Right.
But that's an interesting debate cuz I don't know like I guess the issue too is that like the equality of like everybody around in the neighborhood getting this stuff.
Yeah.
I get that. But to be like, oh, those people don't deserve it. I don't know, man. That's
Yeah.
kind of messed up. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, at first I was like, whoa, you know, I didn't think about it that way. But
Right.
then you kind of start thinking about it and you're like, I mean, put it this way. So if I go and do something illegal,
right,
say, I don't know, rob a bank,
right,
for instance, I'm not saying I'm going to go rob a bank. And then I go and then I shoot multiple people.
right,
I don't kill them, but I shoot them.
right,
And then I get killed by the cops.
right,
And then my family goes and starts a GoFundMe page for me.
right.
Is that okay?
That's difficult, man.
I know, but it's a similar situation. You know what I mean? Because they were technically doing something
Is
illegal.
it similar?
Well, I'm saying because they were technically doing something illegal. You know, in possession of that many fireworks, and I don't know what else was in there for the FBI to get involved. You know, something else was going on there. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, tragically it took their lives,
Right.
but I mean, I heard that the wife came out. She said that she doesn't know she didn't know anything.
You know, though,
Which I mean, I can't say
like
she's
that
lying
doesn't.
or not.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to you,
But
right?
like,
But
what's that guy's name from England that we talked about last week?
The guy from England.
Pearson?
Piers Morgan.
Pierce Morgan. Like he said, I don't believe her. I'm not saying she's lying, bro, but I don't believe her.
Yeah, I don't know. That's hard, dude, because like the you know, people live double lives and you don't know.
Yeah.
Even if it's within your house, it's like, whoa, dude, like you don't know all this stuff. But in the sense of like, do you believe or not? I don't know, dude. I'm really not invested in this story, so I'm not like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, dude, like she must be lying or something.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't be able to debate like, oh, this, you know, these people don't deserve this.
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
I don't know, dude. Like that's hard.
But wouldn't you think that
I think it's messed up. Of course, I think the people
Yeah.
bro, you cause if they did cause
Yeah,
it,
definitely.
you
It's still
ruined
messed
a
up,
bunch
you know,
of
you lost your husband,
Yeah,
your brother,
exactly.
your son, whatever.
But like you messed up everybody else's house.
Yeah.
Okay, you lost your life. I get it. So like, how do you debate that though? Like I don't
Exactly,
know. I wouldn't debate that. I would just move on and be like, who cares, dude?
So that's
Like,
that's why I wanted to bring it up, because it created like a huge debate between the community.
Right.
And it's strictly community members from the city. You know?
right,
People are saying like they shouldn't. People are saying it's their business,
Right.
you know. But I don't
I
know.
just
like
don't
I
know
said,
because
back
like
to
the
wife-
analogy of like
Oh.
the bank robber, like your analogy of the bank robber, it'd be it'd be it'd be much different. Okay, like they did something illegal, right?
Right.
But did they blow up the house on purpose? That's the question. We don't necessarily know.
Right.
Who knows? Maybe they did, but I would bet that they probably didn't
Yeah,
blow
they
it up on
probably
purpose,
didn't.
right? But
Right.
you went to rob the bank on purpose.
Purposely.
Yeah. So I
Right.
think it's a little. I would say
But
it's
they
a
were
little
ha-
different.
I mean, but in that sense, then they were having the fireworks purposely. And it's like they didn't
Right,
Go, they
you
didn't go
had
to
the fire-
house and
you
they
had-
found a fire. Oh, look, there's fireworks.
Yeah, you have the fireworks purposely,
Purposely,
but you don't like,
You don't blow them up,
bro.
purposely.
Okay, but then the thing would be like, what if you buy a firework on 4th of July and then you light it up and you blow up somebody's arm off? You didn't like you had the firework on purpose, but it wasn't like you were like, I'm gonna buy this firework to blow
Okay,
somebody.
I see
You understand what I'm
you're
saying?
Yeah. I see
So
what
like
you're saying.
it's a little different, right? Because it just becomes, I don't know. It becomes it. How can you debate like these people? Man, they don't deserve this money.
Right.
Like, okay, dude. Well, apparently somebody thought they did because
Yeah.
they
But
paid.
that was also the other controversial part that in their GoFundMe description, they didn't mention that they were the ones responsible for, well, not responsible, but they were the ones that had the fireworks. And that was their house that blew up. Yeah. So, that was the other controversy that they failed to mention.
Yeah,
that.
like they failed to mention that. That's
Exactly.
that's a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. That's tricky.
Yeah, it's tricky. That's why I wanted to bring it up. Because I was like, this is pretty interesting,
It is because like, how do you debate that with like I don't know.
Like maybe they were alive, it would be a little different. Because you can say, okay, well, they were the ones responsible for this. But then if they were alive and if they were responsible for having the fireworks, wouldn't they be...
There would be a punishment.
Wouldn't they be punished?
Yeah, there would be a punishment.
By the law?
There would be a punishment. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so their moral punishment technically was death. The ultimate punishment, dude.
Come on, man.
Which is kind of messed up. I mean,
Yeah, it
it's
is.
not kind of, it's definitely messed up, But if they were alive, wouldn't they be punished?
Yeah.
So somebody...
Like a consequence, like you're going to jail or something like that.
So that's what I was thinking about. So wouldn't somebody who alive would be punished for their action after they die? They shouldn't be not punished but judged. That's what I'm saying.
Right. I don't know, man. Look, man, I don't know, dude. I can't. How can you debate this? I just don't.
Dude,
like,
I think we should start a Facebook page or something, and people should go comment on it, what they think.
Yeah, like, but like, what? How do you debate it? Like I get. I mean, I kind of get. I understand people like upset. Like, well, they're the one that caused it. From what we understand,
Right.
We don't know yet, right? Like nothing is known, but they're the one that caused it. But like you're not like. They still died, man. It's tragic. Like everything is tragic. So like, why be upset that one gets more money than the other?
Right.
Like I think you should be more upset. Like, well, maybe they both. Like maybe these people, instead of using all that money, because it only costs so much to do whatever they need to do, right? Like, we'll give the rest to the community. Like, that would be the ideal. But like to be like, those people don't deserve that. They got what they deserve already. Do that.
And that's why I think a lot of people were upset about, because you see like these people's GoFundMe page and it's over
Right.
30 grand,
right.
and you see the people that were affected by it
Right.
haven't even reached the grand. You know what
Right.
I mean? So I think that's why.
That's tricky. Yeah.
So,
I don't know, man.
But I mean, I think that if you're gonna make the GoFundMe, you should be 100% honest.
That's true too. Like, hey,
I mean, I'm not saying they were lying.
They may have. Like, well, what?
Not to keep things away from
Right.
the story.
But we don't know. Maybe they didn't cause it, dude, and they know what caused it.
But they were in
and
possession of them.
Okay, I agree.
You know what I mean?
I don't know, bro. This is too difficult. Because it's like, I don't know.
It's
I can't
difficult
debate.
because I don't think it's ever happened. I mean, I'm
sure
having
it has
trouble.
happened. I'm sure it has happened.
Yeah, I mean, it happened in Mexico like a couple years ago, but it wasn't like in Mexico they have like those flea markets,
Right.
and that's where they make all the fireworks, like the main one in Mexico.
Right.
And they blew up.
Huh?
And if you see the explosion, it's very similar, dude. It like shook the whole. Well, that one shook the whole city.
Right. I
Yeah.
don't know, man. I don't know.
But yeah.
All right. I don't know about that, dude. That's
So
too
that
hard
was
to
the first
debate.
topic, and then another thing about that topic, to stay on that, is that somebody said, which I thought was pretty interesting too, said this is a perfect example of why, if you make something illegal, does not mean that somebody else will not get their hands on it.
What do you mean?
Like referring back to guns.
Right.
You know, like if you always make guns illegal, then nobody's gonna have a gun.
Right.
So they made that same reference with fireworks.
How illegal are fireworks though? Because it's a little.
I mean, I think it's dependent on each city, right? Because I think in Ontario they're illegal.
Right.
But then in Upland, I think they're legal.
This is the argument in which like it becomes difficult.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's. I mean, I don't want to talk about gun rights. That's
but I just
but
thought
like
that they made that reference.
but like it's like, how do I explain it? If you make a law unacceptable in one place in comparison to another, it's gonna be very difficult for you to stop that thing to infiltrate into yours, right? So like if you make fireworks illegal, but in the next town they're not illegal. I mean, like when we were younger, it doesn't really happen much anymore. But when we were younger, right, and like we wanted fireworks, they were illegal all over here, right?
Yeah,
like they were everywhere, like in Ontario, pretty much they were illegal.
Almost every city they were illegal,
except for Chino, right? So what would people do? Yeah. They would just drive over there, grab the fireworks, and bring them back. So it becomes very difficult to be like, well. You see what happens? Just because it's illegal doesn't mean that we're not like people are still gonna get their hands on it.
But you know it's a good point though, right? Because it's true.
It is a good point. It is true. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't think.
It's a good point and a good reference.
It is. It is a good point, but it's very difficult to say, like in the sense of that, because then in that same argument, you can be like, well, don't make anything illegal. Fuck it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's like. Well, okay then. Don't make anything legal. Yeah. Like have prostitution be legal and fucking whatever, dude. Right? Or have meth be legal. People still get meth, dude.
I know.
Like so, fucking make it legal. Let everybody get. See, that doesn't necessarily make sense because there has to be like a limit in the sense of like, you know what, like there has to be a limit. Yeah. Like you can't just use that argument. Like. Well, you see, no matter if you make it illegal, people are still gonna get it. Yeah. Right. I think we all know that. Yeah. So let's just make everything fucking legal. And
I think the whole point of making something illegal is just to minimize the use of it.
Exactly.
Or, you know, or I guess in some way scare people to have it because then if you have it now, you're gonna face the consequences. You're gonna go to jail. You're gonna get a ticket. Or
right. We're in this. We're in this now. Fuck it. So might as well talk about it. When it comes to gun rights, right? It's
dude, this is gonna.
Yeah, okay, but let's just. I want to make a quick point, and we can talk about it in another topic if it ever comes up because there's a mass shooting, which we might talk about in a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, in the sense of that, like.
Wait, okay.
Actually, let's not talk about that. I don't want to. Let's get to that topic.
We're gonna get into that topic, and then it's gonna come back.
I think for this topic that we're talking about, to make that comment, it's of course it's gonna make sense, but that's a broad topic. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, anybody can make arguments like that. Right. We can be here all day just making random arguments of like, right? Yeah. Well, school doesn't work, Look at Elon Musk. He didn't go to school. And it's like, okay, bro. Yeah. Okay, we understand that. So let's not have anybody go to school. Fuck it. Everybody do what Elon Musk did. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't necessarily work. Like, I feel like if you're going to make an argument, like, that's fine. Like, make an argument, but, like, be thorough with your argument. Yeah. Don't make, like, even if it's illegal, man, they're going to get it. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, okay, then. What would be the opposite? Like, just fucking everybody free for all. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. Like, drive however fast you want, dude. Yeah. Like, go on the freeway, and if you die, you die. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's tough, know? Like, don't wear seatbelts. Fuck it. If you fly out of the car, you fly out of the car. Like, what? Yeah. Like, where are we gonna stop, dude?
Yeah, I know. I understand. I mean? But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I think it's also a good leadway into our next topic.
All right, go. Let's.
So we're done with the Ontario topic. Yes. If you guys want to go look it up, research it. I might have been just speaking bullshit, but you guys can always look it up on your own. Go ahead. There's gonna be more facts coming on in the next day. So
yeah, go. Yeah. Look, you sent me a text today about this topic that you're gonna talk about.
Yes, dude.
I don't like where it's going.
I mean, I did some live research on it. Okay. Nothing too crazy, but...
The topic. Go. Give us a topic.
Yeah. So the topic is... I'm pretty sure everybody heard about this. The shooting in Atlanta where this guy went on a rampage and he killed eight people total.
8 women.
No.
8 women.
If I'm not mistaken, one of them was not a woman. If what I read in
sure.
an article.
8 people. Okay.
I can pull it up. I can hit up Jamie,
Yes, Jamie?
right now, dude. Yeah,
Jamie?
well, that's Jamie right now, dude.
Jamie, hit it up, please.
It's Jamie right here.
Jamie, go
Right
ahead.
here,
Go ahead.
dude.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, if I'm not mistaken, it was six Asian women.
Okay.
One Hispanic, which
Okay.
I think survived, and then one guy. I didn't get his
Hold on.
ethnicity.
So he didn't kill 8 people.
No, I
One
mean,
survived.
sorry.
There's 8 people
Yeah.
dead, bro.
Yeah,
so-
8 people dead and 6 of them were Asian.
Okay.
I'm not sure about
The majority. That's
yeah.
that's a high percentage. Whatever the
Yeah, yeah.
ask Jamie. Whatever the
It's
percentage.
like almost
80%.
Yeah, 80%.
Okay.
Where
All right. What is
Asian.
the topic? Because look, dude, the text message. I'm not digging it right now.
Yeah.
Because I want to hear your
Yeah.
thoughts, but I want to. Okay, go ahead. What's the topic? Go ahead.
Yeah. So that's the topic. So the debate is what I
Was
asked
it-
you earlier. Do
yeah.
you think? Do you guys think that it was a hate crime? Towards
Okay.
the Asian community.
Okay, I know where you're gonna go with this. So I'm gonna say this.
While you elaborate, I'm gonna look up the article real quick. 'Cause I
Okay.
don't want to.
So what I'm going to say is this: that I'm going based off the evidence that I have at this exact moment. With 80% of the people he killed being Asian, I'm going to say that yes, it is a hate crime.
Okay.
Now, I understand. Actually, I don't want to even say that word. I don't understand. You know what? Okay, I understand where people are getting to. Well, we don't necessarily know yet. Yada yada yada. All this stuff, right? Okay, I get it. But just as if you're like, well, I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna start as saying that it's not a hate crime,
Okay.
right? And I'm gonna wait for the evidence. I can start at it was a hate crime, and I'll wait for the evidence. Like there's no
So
like
you
I
can
don't
go
feel
both ways.
yeah, like I don't feel that it's a well, if you don't think it's a hate crime, you're okay. I'm going to say that in my opinion, based off of the evidence that I have, it is a hate crime. Now, do I want to debate that? I don't know. Because in the sense, all I can say is this. If you go to a place and you specifically shoot majority Asian people, that is an issue. Like, that has something to do. That guy could have picked anywhere, bro. That guy could have picked anywhere.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, so this is because when you text me, I was like, all right, this was already going to try to go at this. I get this shit already, okay? So here's what I got. Okay. I would say the following. Let's say you want to make this excuse that you're sexually frustrated.
Right, which was his excuse.
That's the
right?
excuse that he made.
He had a sex addiction or something.
And you, in your mind, see sex addiction with clubs. Okay? Like, that's where you, like, get your, like...
Spas, right?
Yeah, like you're, like...
The massage.
around. No. I'll just give you an example of a club.
Oh,
like a dancing club.
Okay.
Okay? So, like, girls go and they dance. And I'm not talking about, like, strip clubs. Like, where you go and you dance with women or whatever. You hook up with them at the end or whatever. Like a dance club.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But you drive specifically to a club where it's all white people. There has to be a connection in why you went to that one.
Okay.
Because you could have went to any club. You could have went to a club that was all African Americans or all Hispanic and shot whatever you want there. Like, why specifically go to a place where there's a majority Asian? Like, there has to be a connection, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know proximity where he lived, all that stuff. I get it. I don't know, dude. But there has to be a connection. There has to be. I'm gonna say that.
So do you think there has to be a connection with there being a hate crime?
Yeah, I think so. Like, the majority of, if you go on a rampage right now, Jair, and you go and you start killing people, and out of the, let's say, 10 people you kill, 8 of them are white, I'm gonna guess it had something to do with the way they looked.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you probably walked by a bunch of people before you were like, okay, I'm gonna start shooting these fools. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there has to be a connection. Now, of course, I understand how the system works. I'm not stupid. I get it, right? Like, proven, you're whatever idea, whatever you have about you have to wait for the evidence. I understand that, but I'm starting at that point.
All
I'm
right.
starting at that point.
Yeah.
You may be other people may be starting at. Well, I'm gonna wait to see it wasn't or whatever it is, but I'm starting right there.
Yeah.
And if I'm proven wrong, I'm proven wrong. Whatever, dude. Right? Just as if you're proven wrong, you're proven wrong. We're not in a different spot. You know what I mean? We can still say that it was messed up. He killed so many Asian people.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely messed up.
Right, exactly. But you can be like, it wasn't a hate crime. And I can be like, well, I think it was. We'll start at that same point. We'll wait till the end. I personally would rather debate what the sheriff said.
What did he say?
He was like, he was just at his end of, he was having a bad day. That's what he said, bro.
That he was having a bad day?
Yeah. He was like, he was having a bad day and he had enough. So he went. Honestly. Like, bro, you can't, like, how is that even an excuse? Bro, I have bad days all the time, dude.
Do you think I mean, I'm just going along with what you're saying, but do you think that has anything to do with his ethnicity? That they're treating him this way? Because it appears to be that every time it's you want to say white or Caucasian, it's always not an excuse, but they always try to go around.
Yeah.
And saying, oh, he had a bad day. Oh, he had mental issues. Which, I mean, honestly, I think it all comes down to mental issues. With all these active shooters and school shooters.
No matter what, right?
No matter what. I think it comes down to mental health. They're mentally unstable. All of them.
I think...
Because you got to be mentally unstable to do something like that.
Exactly. Like, in order to go out and shoot somebody... There has to be, I mean, either like you're numb to whatever you're feeling.
Not just to shoot somebody, go on a rampage.
Yeah. There has to be something wrong with you in general, right?
Yes.
But do I think, look, evidence-wise, like what I remember and what I notice, I mean, I would say so that here's the biggest thing that I notice, right? Is that when it's a person who believes in your side, okay, when they show, they're on the news, whatever news side they are, the image that's shown is always either used for good or for bad, okay?
Yeah.
So, for example, if you're watching, okay, I'm just going to give examples because that's just the way I like to do it here. If you're watching CNN, okay, and they show a picture of somebody who got killed. Let's just say, for example, and then they're like, they show like their Instagram pictures or whatever. So then they show them like, oh yeah, this person was smoking weed, right? And they'll be like, yeah, but it's legal to smoke weed. That's totally fine. But you're on CNN because they're on my side. All this stuff, right? Then you watch, and this is kind of my topic that I want to talk about. Then you watch like Fox News. They show that same picture, and it's like, look, man, they had a drug problem.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it becomes politicized.
It becomes super politicized, right?
Yeah.
So like you're watching one side of the news and they're like, nah, man, this is a hate crime no matter what, all this stuff. Which you may agree with, right? Then you watch Fox News and you be like, these woke people are like, this is a hate crime. It's not a hate crime, man. This guy had a sex addiction, all this stuff. So no matter what, it becomes one side or the other, right? Now, I think that's necessarily wrong. I think you can be like, look, dude, he killed 8 people. The majority were Asian. He could have went to any other store, my dude.
Yeah.
Like he could have went wherever he wanted.
Right.
And killed whatever. He could have went to the mall.
Yeah.
And started shooting as many women as he saw. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because but then they're like, well, the spot gives them the temptation. And stuff. Right. But why not somewhere else, dude?
Right. Well, apparently he was driving to Florida he was heading towards something got to do with the porn industry. He was going to keep doing it. And then his parents are the ones that told police that they think that his son might be the shooter. So they tracked his phone, and that's how they got to him before he got to wherever he was going. So that's what... Okay,
it becomes tricky.
Before I get into that, back to what you're saying, becoming politicized and stuff. It's really interesting how it's all playing out right now in the Biden era.
Right.
Because let me tell you, if Trump was president, dude, he would be getting so much heat.
Right.
I mean, and I think he would be getting it.
Well, rightfully so.
Rightfully so. Because of all the statements he made, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
China virus, Kung flu, all those.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, look, in the sense of like the China virus, there's statements in which people called it like the virus that came from China, like on
Right.
CNN, all that stuff, right?
but we know he.
But
didn't
there's a
mean it in
difference,
that-
bro.
Right.
There's a difference from saying like the connotation of like the China virus or the Kung flu. Like that's not
The Kung flu. I mean, it's not.
that's not even anything.
Yeah.
Like, why would you say
That's
that?
just
Dude?
satire.
Yeah, like that's all it is, and it's like you're the president, bro.
Exactly.
Like
So that's
we
what I'm
lowered. Here's my biggest problem is that you lowered the standard
Yeah,
so much.
dude.
Like you lowered the
You even
standard
had
so
Kanye
much.
West running for president, dude.
You
Come
lowered the
on.
standard so much that people were like, "Let's pick Biden." Do you
Yes,
understand what I'm saying?
yes.
Like, that's the thing. It's like you lowered the standard so much
Yeah.
that it was like, bro, even Biden beat you, dude.
Yeah.
Like, come on. You understand what I'm saying? And it's kind of like you're right. Like, it's kind of difficult. But the difference is like the way he spoke is gonna be different. Like Biden, no matter what you say, there's characteristics, right? Biden has a more empathetic characteristic. His
Right.
actions may say something different,
Yeah.
right? Like you may be super empathetic right here and then go out and kill somebody like nothing, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who do that. Like
Right.
they can talk to people and then go do a job that they're supposed to do, whatever. I think that's the difference. Is that it becomes difficult because like Trump said a lot of things that, in my opinion, shouldn't have been said.
Yeah.
As a president,
As a president.
like
right.
like even Dave Chappelle, I think said
If he
this.
wasn't a president,
Like Dave
then
Chappelle was
it'll
like,
be
bro,
okay.
he sounds like me. Like I should have said that shit.
Yes, I know.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like that's the difference though. It's like we need to understand what is what. Like
Yeah.
he's the president.
Right.
You may be like, that was funny, but it's like, bro, you're not watching a comedian, you're watching a president.
Right.
You know?
That's
Like-
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the same thing I think about it. The same way I think about it. You know, every position, when you're that in a high position like that, it should be a standard for it.
Right.
You know,
But that okay, so
even for cops. I mean,
give me
I told you about this. You know,
Right.
about cops. There should be a standard for it. You know?
Right.
And not just come and shoot people. I mean, you're trained for this.
so give me just so that we can end this topic. I kinda want to talk about the topic I got, but
Okay, so
what are your thoughts? So my
So
idea
my
is this.
thoughts-
I'm gonna start so just everybody's clear. I believe it's a hate crime. That's where I will start.
yeah.
And
Or you're
if
gonna
I'm
wait for
proven
the
wrong,
evidence?
then whatever.
Okay.
And if you're on the other side saying, well, I'm going to do the opposite, okay, whatever. But based off of the evidence I have,
Yeah.
the majority of the people you kill are one specific type of people.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that that's what most likely it is. Because like you said, if he was driving to Florida,
Yeah.
if that's the evidence, if he was driving to Florida, why did he stop there and start shooting people? Why not just drive all the way to Florida and start shooting
Right.
people? That's the thing, right?
I think because it was local. I think. If
Yeah,
I'm not
right,
mistaken.
right.
Right.
But it's like those are all excuses that you can make. Like you're already going to Florida, bro. Like if you're really getting like all this temptation from this porn industry, then go directly to Florida, bro.
Right.
You know. But I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna start on. I'm actually on the opposite end where you're at. I don't think it was a hate crime. And
Based off of your research,
based off on what I read,
right?
and the reason why I don't think it's a hate crime, it's because majority of the women that he killed were Asian,
Right.
but I mean, I'm not trying to sound racist or stereotypical, but I mean, majority of those spas, they're owned, and the massage, they're
Right.
owned by Asians. There's
Right.
Asians there, right? It's like if he would have gone, I mean, if somebody goes and targets 10 nail salons anywhere, majority are going to be Asian women, right? And yeah, he was sexually frustrated. That's what I read.
That's what he read. That's what he said.
I mean, I don't know how that leads you into killing. That's why I said he's mentally unstable.
There's something wrong with him.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know that in those places, a lot of things go on. You know, that's why a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, the massage places with the happy ending.
Right.
And I've heard from people, you know, things happen.
Right.
You pay them a little extra and things happen. But, so that's the reason why he went there, to those
Right.
places, you know.
That's what he says.
Yeah. So if my thing it's so that's the one thing. Well, I don't think it's a hate crime. The second is because why did he kill the other two people who are not of Asian ethnicity? And which is I just looked at like 3 articles right now when you were talking.
Right.
And I couldn't find the ethnicity of those other two people.
Right.
How come every article wants to push that six Asian women? That's like one of the main phrases in every article.
Right.
6 Asian women. That they failed to mention the ethnicity of the other two. If it was strictly a hate crime, I mean, why the need to kill the other people? The other two people. I think just by the last names and by the names of it, I think one of them was Hispanic and the other one was white.
Right.
I'm
pretty sure you're right.
Based off
I'm pretty sure you're right.
the last names. So if he's white, why would he want to kill another white person?
Well, I think that's a different situation though, because we would have to analyze everything, and I think that's a different point. Like I'm not. So let's just.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So let me finish. So that's the second reason why I think it wasn't a hate crime. You know, it's, like I said right now, if you go to 10 nail salons, you're mostly gonna kill Asian women. You might kill. I'm saying if you just want to go on a shooting spree because you're mad at somebody's nails.
You're making a very stereotypical.
No, but I mean that's what I mean. I don't want to sound.
I don't know what Atlanta's demographics is like, because if you go to spas around here, then I mean there are going to be Asian people, but there's going to be a lot of spas with other.
Right, but majority are Asians.
I would have to look. I don't know. That's the thing. Like where are we looking at the stats?
Right.
I don't know.
It's like Okay, so before I get into that,
yes, go.
So the third reason why I think it's not a hate crime is because the fact that he was driving out to Florida to this thing got to do with the porn industry. That's what he said. No, well, he was actually heading over there.
Okay.
I don't know where they got him or they tracked him down or whatever, but that's where he was heading. So that tells me that he wasn't strictly going for all the Asians, because I'm pretty sure there was not only because how many massage places did he target?
I have no idea.
I think 4 or 5 maybe.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there had to be more than 6 Asian women.
Right.
And all of them together.
Right.
So he could have killed all of them.
Right.
Specifically all the Asian women that were there. Maybe Asian men.
Right.
I don't know if there was men or not. He could have done that. I mean, why didn't he do it? We don't know. We don't know the details, like you said. We don't know yet. So I think those 3 things is what leads me to believe that it wasn't a hate crime. I mean, it's really fucked up. I think it was just an active shooter situation.
Right.
Targeting these places that majority of these places are owned and operated by the Asian community.
What if I have a question for you.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Before that. So it's like you said, it's very stereotypical.
Yeah.
But I go back to, I think it was like last year, or I think it was last year or the year before the pandemic. I'm not sure. Remember when those cornmen were being harassed?
Yeah.
By the African Americans?
Yeah.
Most cornmen are
Hispanic. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, where are you going?
Yeah. So
are those hate crimes?
Exactly. So were those hate crimes?
Yeah.
You think they were hate crimes?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, why not?
Mean, if
you must hate cornmen to go attack them. Like what?
Yeah, but you're not gonna hate Mexicans or Latinos in general. Because
okay,
I don't want to say
bro,
they're all Mexicans.
Then you go into like, well, I don't know. It's super.
I think that was just a robbery.
It's
in
super
most cases,
subjective, bro.
And they
because all the evidence you were like, okay, well, he was going to Florida. Okay, I could have said that.
Yeah.
Oh well, I had sexual frustrations, and I go.
But if it was a hate crime, don't you
man,
think he would say
but
he would admit to it? If he really hated Asians.
No, bro, he ain't gonna admit to that shit. Why?
Come on, dude. Why not?
Nah, people don't admit shit, dude. Bro, listen.
He's already
and
your
evidence.
Unstable.
Okay, look, I get what you're getting at. I have no problem. I understand what you're getting at, and I keep moving the damn cameras so they're all wiggly.
I know.
That's all good. I get what you're getting at. I have no problem. But here, your point of like, well, wouldn't he have only killed Asian people? I mean, maybe, bro, but I'm sure he's not like. Look, I'm sure. Okay. I'm sure he's not going in and going, well, I'm only going to kill Asian people.
Well, I mean, if it's a hate crime, that's his goal, right?
But it's like, can a hate crime be like, I'm going to kill the majority Asian people? Like, and if somebody gets in my way and they're not Asian, I'm not going to be like, excuse me, miss, I'm trying to shoot the Asian person. You're just going to shoot.
But we don't know what happened. I mean, it's
We
not
don't
like
know,
they got
exactly. We don't know what happened. That's
Yeah.
the issue, and I think that's the difference. I think people see it. I think people see it as a bad thing to start at. It was a hate crime.
Right.
Why is it a bad thing? Like, just as I don't want to say that I don't see a bad thing starting at, well, we have to wait for the evidence. I don't think that's a bad spot to say. Like, I don't think in any situation, right? Unless it's like clear as day.
Right.
I don't think it's a bad place to start where you say, I'm gonna wait for the evidence.
Right.
I don't think it's ever bad to say that. Okay, but I also don't think it's be like, well, it was a hate crime. Like, I believe this was a hate crime, and if I get proven wrong, then it's okay.
Right.
Like, what is so bad about that? Like, why does that make you?
I don't think it's bad.
Why does that make you woke?
Yeah, I don't think it's bad that if you say that if it was a hate crime, if that's where you start.
Right.
But I think it's dangerous because you start there, and there's a lot of evil people.
But
that in this world, especially
Okay.
towards the Asian community, with the whole pandemic thing going like that happened.
this is what I'm saying.
So I think it'll incite more people to go out and commit actual hate crimes.
Okay, bro. Look, no matter what you say, Asian attacks have been on the rise.
No, I know. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
So to be like, well, we don't know if this is a hate crime. It's like, I understand. Like, it's fine if you start at, well, we have to wait for the evidence, right? But with everything that's going on, it's all like, it's not like, oh, you're woke because you're starting at it was a hate crime.
Right.
It's like, no, bro, I'm just seeing what's happened to the Asian community, and I'm gonna be like, well, based off of all this other evidence, I can start here. Now, of course, you can always get proven wrong. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But I don't think it's a bad thing to start at, well, look, dude, crimes on Asian people have risen. Attacks on Asian people have risen. All this stuff has risen around Asian people. It ain't like you're woke, bro. Like, it's just that you're like, well, I mean, this is adding up, my dude. Like, it's adding up. Now, in this exact situation, can it be incorrect that it was a hate crime? Sure. Yeah. Does it do any effect, like any bad effect, to be like, it was a hate crime against Asians? To make people aware that the attacks have been rising on Asian people? Like, it's nothing bad's going to happen, dude.
Right.
Like, nothing bad is going to happen if you put up and say, stop Asian hate. Like, there's zero bad going to happen.
Right.
Like, nothing at all. I don't see it as a horrible thing. It's the same thing as saying, stop gang violence, for example, right? Let's just say somebody gets shot, stop gang violence, whatever, yeah. And then at the end, they find out it wasn't gang violence. Is it bad that you started at stop gang violence? No. Because it's like, well, you still want gang violence to stop, dude. Do you see what I'm saying?
But I think gang violence and, hate crimes is
okay.
two different things.
All right.
Like I said, so if it would have been 3 Asian women, would it still been a hate crime? And 5, I don't know, other ethnicities like Hispanic, white, African Americans, would it still be a hate
based
crime?
on the attacker? Because if they're all a minority, then you can be like, well, it's for hating minorities. I mean, it's difficult, dude. It's difficult because you have to wait for the evidence in all aspects. I'm not saying it was or it wasn't. I'm saying that I'm starting there.
So why can't we start? Okay, then why can't we start at it was an attack on women?
Sure.
And generally.
Sure.
Why
stop women violence? What is that going to affect you? Like,
right, yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
dude.
but why isn't that the conversation?
I think it is within its own conversation. I think it's encompassed within. I think the problem here is that this is where I talk to people. I think the problem is that we find ourselves only focusing on one thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's the worst problem that we can have, in which you only focus on one thing, and you think that by focusing on one thing, you're taking it away from the other thing, right? It's the same thing that I say. It's like you may agree.
It actually takes away from the
whole
issue
purpose.
as a whole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. It's the same thing that I say. Is like people are like, are you like defund the police? Because it's like no. I mean, I don't really know, but I also think that in some situations, cops should be held accountable. Like, it's not a horrible thing to say that if you're doing your job and you're doing it incorrectly, you should be held accountable.
Right.
Like, it's not like if doctor goes into a surgery and he kills somebody, you're not going to be like, well, defund the hospital, man. No, you're going to be like, well, that doctor should get held accountable if he did something wrong. You know what I mean? Like, you can hold both things.
Whole, Black Lives Matter marches were going on last year. I mean, then you had this group of people saying, well, black women's lives matter.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, that's what we mean when we say Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
We mean everybody. So then they take away from that issue, and then people focus on that, and they kind of take away from the issue that's encompassing everything.
Right.
You know.
The issue too is that sometimes it's good to focus on specific things, but you have to also understand that there's so many things going on in the world that you're not the only issue, or this is not the only issue.
Right.
And if you take it away for a little bit, doesn't mean that you're not for that anymore.
Right.
It means that, well, maybe you're a little bit focused on something else.
Right.
Right. And also, like, the one thing I don't necessarily like is that we always divide up people. And that's my biggest issue. It's like we're always dividing up people.
We label people.
Yeah, like, well, this is an Asian woman.
We label
and now this is a
because of their
woman, and
label.
this is now this is the Asian man. Now, but he's a man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like
Yeah.
he's a Hispanic man. It's like he's a man and he's a woman, and you're like like everything is like
And you start
divided
getting
up
smaller and smaller
and smaller and smaller
He's
until
like,
you're
well,
like,
he's Asian. Well, yeah, but he's from Korea. Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's from the North Korea.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but he's from that city.
Yeah, exactly. And
And
it's
it's
like
like-
just gets smaller and smaller.
But
Like,
he's
he
a
doesn't
liberal
really
from
ca-
Korea.
Yeah, he
you know?
doesn't really care about
Exactly.
you, man. And it's like, nah, dude, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
It's like, why can't we all just be like, hey, dude, we got your back?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's, that sometimes, like, hey, like, I got your back, dude. That's how
Right.
good. Like, I don't care if I'm not Asian, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's messed up. They kill a bunch of Asian
Yeah, I
people.
mean, I think it's messed up too. I mean,
Yeah, I understand where you're going. Like,
but I also think that, I can give you that, that we can start at, okay, it was a hate crime, and that's fine.
I
But
think-
it also, you start to create fear amongst the Asian community.
but if the numbers
Valid fear.
are
I mean, it's valid, but
that's what I'm saying. What is
it
so
necessary
bad?
to inflict that fear, though? Just like I said,
If the
when-
numbers
when
are going
when-
up,
when
if the numbers are going up, then yes.
it's like when I was saying when the whole the cornman things were going on.
Yeah.
Do you think I was afraid for my life when I would see African Americans?
You're not a cornman.
I know, but I'm Latino.
Depends on what city you live in.
What do you mean?
It just depends, man.
No, dude, that's
It depends,
so.
man.
So the people over there are gonna be scared, but not the people here.
That's different because Asian numbers in the whole nation has been on the rise. It's different.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that I think by labeling it as a hate crime towards Asians, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. The only thing is that it can inflict
So you're not
fear
okay. So you're
into
not
the Asian community.
you're not upset that they like you're not upset. So like let's say that they don't label it a hate crime.
Right.
Here's where it gets super difficult. They don't label it a hate crime.
Right.
But they always say that there's 8 Asian women who got killed.
Right.
Or 6 Asian women who got killed. But they don't label it as a hate crime. When I'm an Asian woman and I read that, even though they don't label it a hate crime, I'm going to be like, damn, that's crazy.
Right.
And still
without looking at details, though.
But
When
no,
you
no.
still look at when you start looking at details.
If you start looking at details, okay, maybe not. I don't know. It just depends, right? It also depends on the individual. Individual person will either feel fear or not.
Right.
But if the numbers are going up, and you just say, well, these 6 Asian women got killed.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you label it a hate crime or not.
But
it doesn't
the
even
numbers
matter
are
the
not going up
reasoning.
right now.
It
This
doesn't.
just happened today.
I
I get it. They've been growing up gradually. So, I mean,
right.
They were
But
up on the rise.
It doesn't matter the details. It does not matter the details. If somebody killed 8 Asian women and the numbers are going up, it's a trend that the numbers are going up. It does not matter the details. You are still going to be like, damn, that's crazy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, of course, like when you look at the details and you really look at it, whatever it is. But if you're a woman and you're Asian, it's gonna instill some sort of fear. Like it is, bro. Like no matter.
I mean, of course, it's gonna steal some fear.
And it doesn't matter if you label it a hate crime or not.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, you can say it's still gonna inflict some fear in you, but if right away you label it as a hate crime, I mean, the Asian community is. Just the Asian community, I guess you can say, is gonna instill a lot of fear in them.
But it's that bad?
I mean,
because
it's
it
not
did
bad,
happen.
but-
It did happen.
I mean, yeah, it did happen, but we don't know if it was a hate crime or not. You know,
But it
like,
did happen, man.
if it was like
It doesn't matter. It did happen.
like I told you, if he strictly just killed Asians and nothing else, and that was his goal, then okay, definitely a hate crime. You know?
Okay, Jerry, let's reverse it because I need you. I want you to understand. I want you to
Talk
understand.
to me, Tina. Talk to me,
I know.
bro.
I want you to understand. Look, the numbers are going up against attacks on Hispanics.
Okay.
Hispanics, okay?
Right.
No matter what, over the time, yeah, whatever. Okay. Then there's an attack, and in this attack, there's 10 people that get killed.
Mm-hmm.
8 of them are Hispanic.
Okay.
8 women get killed. The guy had a sexual issue, whatever it is.
Okay.
The Hispanic people are already in fear. It doesn't matter if you label it a hate crime or not. When the women read that, there's going to be fear no matter if it was based off of their race or not.
Okay.
And that's what I believe. That's why I believe, like, in this situation, it doesn't hurt anybody, in my opinion, right, to say that it was a hate crime. Maybe if you think about it in a very larger scale and be like, well, this is going to make Asian people hate white people because they think that this person did it, against whatever,
that's
dude.
Good point.
You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Like, I understand that.
Right.
Right? But in reality, like, everything is adding up for this to happen. You know? Like, this is the thing is like,
I mean,
this.
is it really adding up though?
This is where I'm at. Okay? When you have this culture, and it's going to sound very, I don't know if the word is morbid or whatever. When you have this gun culture in the society, right? And a school shooting happens, are you surprised that it happened?
No. Not in America.
Right?
Right.
Does it instill fear in you if you were a teacher and all this is happening and you're like, well, I don't know if it's going to happen in my neighborhood. Does it instill some sort of fear? Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Right.
Like, no matter how tough of a teacher you are,
right.
If this is happening, there's going to be either some sort of like...
But that's natural, though. That's natural. I mean, I'm in fear when I go, to the stores. I mean, if I go get a pedi or a manicure or whatever,
right.
I'm going to be in fear being in there.
Right.
Because this guy targeted those
spas.
Right? But...
What is it bad to say... Stop Asian hate. I just don't see anything bad with that.
No, I mean, there's nothing bad about stop Asian hate. There's nothing bad about that.
So what are you arguing?
No, that I'm saying that I don't think it was a hate crime. Overall, I don't think it was a hate crime. I think, like I said,
But what does it matter? What in the sense, like, what does it matter? What do you think this is gonna inflict if it's labeled incorrectly? I think that should be the argument. Like, what is your argument that if it's labeled incorrectly, if it's labeled a hate crime, why is that such a bad thing?
No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying I don't think it was a hate crime. I'm not saying it's a bad thing that it
got labeled that.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing that it got labeled that. A bad thing or a good thing.
It's tough, man.
Yeah, but it's like you just said. Maybe they want to create this division of fear from between Asian and white people. Right. And then with everything that's going on, like you said, like the tensions between the U.S. and China, the trade wars and all that stuff. I mean, it just adds up to that.
Right.
It adds fuel to the fire. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean,
I just think honestly, there's just too much hate in general.
Yeah. I mean, like overall, I don't think it was a hate crime. I'm not saying it's a bad thing that it was labeled that. Like you said, it's probably not gonna do much if it's labeled that or not. Right. But I just don't think it was a hate crime. And I give you the reasons why I don't.
Right. Of course.
But and then like I could say, to me,
right.
A hate crime would be if he would go to 8 different places that are not massage salons or spas
and only killed Asian people, or killed a large amount. Like 90% were Asian.
Yeah, even in that instant, if he would kill other ethnicities,
Right.
But mostly, so he goes to 5 places.
Yeah, and they're all
Different places.
Yeah.
And in each place, he kills 3 Asians
Yeah.
and 1 other ethnicity.
Yeah.
In each place.
Yeah.
That's 75% Asian killings at random places, different places where
he could have went anywhere else and done whatever he wanted.
Then I would say, okay, that was a hate crime, you know, because this guy
went
looking for them.
Yeah, those are like, I don't know, the word
That-
is
that-
semantics.
to me, though.
Because like, like you pick and choose what number and how the numbers work. I just don't see it as a big issue, honestly. Like in the sense of like, I understand where you're coming from. Like if it isn't a hate crime, you know, like I just don't see it as a big issue in this specific thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like in this specific thing, like no matter what, that guy's in trouble, right? It doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter if it was a hate crime or not.
Why doesn't he just say, you know, I just wanted to kill Asians? I mean, we had other people come out.
Because people lie. I mean, I don't know. People lie. That's tough.
you're already gonna be in jail for the rest of your life.
Nah, I don't know.
Why would he lie?
No, I agree. I don't know. The people lie. Dude.
And if everything he's saying kind of lines up, you know, that he was sexually frustrated, he went to this place.
Yeah, dude. But that's also a very.
There's those places.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who are sexually frustrated and don't go out and shoot people.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
You know what I mean?
What I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure he's been to these places before. Probably one of them got him upset. Maybe he was upset at all of them.
Bro,
he went and just...
I don't know. I feel like that's an excuse, though. And I don't like I think the topic that we talked about of like the way that they make people seem, I think it's horrible.
But do you think you're going to have excuses doing things at this extent? Doing things this horrible? You think you're still going to be able to have... I mean, but you're still going to try to excuse yourself from it? Instead of just saying, you know what?
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a tough question.
I know.
That's a tough question because I don't know. Like, it also like, why do we have to? I don't know. I feel like you said, like, when it's one type of shooter compared to another shooter, the drastic change in the media of how it's treated, even to come out and be like, oh well, he was having a bad day.
Yeah. Like
to come out and say like that, like
we just dismiss it like it's...
Yeah, like, oh, he was having a bad day. Dude, if I was a reporter, I'd be like, bro, I'm having a bad day right now. Yeah. I'm sure those people that got killed are having a bad day.
Exactly.
Like, I'm sure the family members of the people who got killed, they ain't going out and shooting people. That's a ridiculous thing to say. He was only 21, dude. Yeah, it's just crazy, dude. I mean, I don't know. That's so to go to my topic, and hopefully it's a quick one because we're kind of running long here.
Well, just to end that topic, you know, where... we support the Asian community, stand behind it. You know, look, I don't have anything against stopping hate crimes and stopping hate crimes against Asians specifically, because like you said, they've been under rise since last year because the whole COVID thing and stuff. But
yeah, I just think people are ignorant in general. Like they just they pick one thing and they're just like, well, let's just go. You know, like I don't know. Like, how do you connect? I don't know, dude. I just don't get it. Like, I don't know. Whatever.
But we'll find out if it was. See, that's the other tricky thing, dude. Who labels it? But whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
But we'll find out in the next days. In the next if it was a hate crime or not.
This is my topic for the day. Last topic, and then we're out of here because it's already late. I find it very interesting. So I tend to find myself watching.
Sit back, relax.
Yeah, let's sit down, relax, enjoy. I find myself, and you can tie in it here if you need to. I think we need to get better ones of these, but it's okay.
Oh, that's cool right now, dude. We're starting.
Okay, we're just starting. I think we need to do more of these. To be honest with you,
start a GoFundMe, dude.
Yeah, we do. I find it very interesting that you can watch. So I find myself watching like very much both sides. So if you watch YouTube or anything like that, you know like Ben Shapiro is a really conservative guy.
Very smart dude too.
Yeah.
Very smart dude.
Very smart in the sense in his own way, right? Then you can be able to watch like David Pakman, who's on the other side, or Kyle Kalinske, who's on the other side, right? And then people who come on Joe Rogan that are on both sides, whatever, right? So if you watch like these shows on like Ben Shapiro has his own like network, I don't know, called Daily Caller or something. I don't know what it's called.
It's
actually.
YouTube, right?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. Daily Wire, I think it's called.
Okay.
And then you watch people like, I think his name's Brian Tyler. I don't know what his name, Brian Tyler. I don't know. Or David Pakman or other people who, are really like liberal, I guess would be.
Okay.
So I'm watching like both. Right? I find it extremely interesting that they can use the same clip and sell it as one thing versus another. Right? And that's kind of my topic.
Okay.
Who falls for that? Like, this is like, who is watching?
You'd be
I don't
surprised,
know.
dude.
Who is watching Ben Shapiro, right? And is like, whoa, man, the crisis. He's like, the crisis in the border, man. This is all Biden's fault. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you watch, like, let's just say something liberal, like, I don't know, CNN, right? Or something like on YouTube that's liberal, and they're like, the crisis in the border, man, this is all Trump's fault. Like, how, what? Like, how can you use the same topic and think that people are going to fall
Sell
for
it differently?
Yeah, whatever it is. Or you'll watch, like, the press secretary say one thing, dude, and, like, the liberals will be like, wow, look at how she answered that question.
Right.
Unbelievable answer.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've never heard such a good answer, right?
Yeah.
And then you'll watch, like, Ben Shapiro and be like, look at how she stumbles through the answer. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand you.
You know, like, do you think, like, people fall for that? And I'm talking about on both sides.
Yeah, dude.
Like, how can you not watch both sides and go, okay, somebody's lying.
Yeah.
Who is lying here? And then move forward from there. Like, how can you, like, watch Ben Shapiro and be like, oh, that guy's the smartest guy ever, and they just, like, go and move forward from there. And when you watch, like, CNN, be like, CNN tells all the truth. You know, that's just my question. Like, why do you think people fall for it? Specifically when it comes to, like, same exact clips. I'm not talking about, like, separate clips. I watched, like, 2 videos, bro, where they were talking about the same exact clip. And it was like, dude, did you see how she stumbled through the answer? And the other people are like, wow, what a great answer, dude. And it's like, people are like, yeah, dude, she stumbled through the answer. She doesn't know what she's saying. Biden's on decline, you know? And it's like, I don't know. And
well,
I'll bring another
to answer
example.
your question,
Yeah.
I think that, people not necessarily fall for it, but people are not doing what you're doing. They're not looking at both sides. It's like the analogy of the elephant.
The algorithm just gives them one side.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Like the analogy of the elephant, where everybody's touching the elephant, different places. And everybody describes the elephant
different
according to where they're touching it, right?
Yeah.
But it's the same elephant. But nobody's touching the other side of the elephant. Nobody's seen the whole picture.
Right.
And in your case, you're actually trying to see the whole picture. You're trying to get the right and the left. And you're seeing how satire it is to watch them. And it's ridiculous at one point, you know? And don't get me wrong. Some of them have good arguments.
Right, of course.
Right. But some of them really just push it, dude. Like, it's ridiculous.
Right.
But
I think Ben Shapiro pushes it now. I think after Trump.
I mean, I can't say much about Shapiro because, I don't really keep up with that dude. I've heard him on Rogan, and that's why I said I think he's pretty smart. Everything Rogan threw at him, he answered pretty well, and he elaborated on stuff, and he had very arguments and
I don't know.
Answers. Some of them, they were very debatable. And I know Rogan's not a genius. He's a good podcaster. And a good host, but he's not a genius to where he can debate Shapiro to that point.
Right.
So I think Shapiro kind of took advantage of that too. Make himself sound way smarter.
Yeah.
And, like his arguments are completely valid.
When he talks about gay marriage, I don't know if you saw that part, where he talks about gay marriage, Ben Shapiro, and then Joe Rogan is like, so you won't go to their marriage. You won't go to their wedding. And he's like, no, but you'll go to lunch with them.
Yeah.
Like, what if it was his birthday? Would you go to his birthday? Yeah. And Ben Shapiro was like, no, no.
So because they're pretty clear fallacies that they're using, right?
That
even Rogan sees through them.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but like I said,
because it's not logical, right? He's using his religious belief to justify his logical reasoning.
Yeah.
And it's like he himself isn't a bad person. Like, he's not a confrontational person.
Right.
Like, if somebody comes up to him, he's not gonna fight anybody or anything like that. Ben Shapiro, right? But he will like he will say, well, this is what my religion believes, right? But I'm not gonna treat Dave Rubin bad because he's gay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just not gonna go to his wedding because of my religion. But I will hang out with him. So it becomes like a very, like you said, like
very oxymoronic.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I said, to your point, you know, like nobody's looking at both sides. I mean, very few people, and I'm not gonna say nobody. Very few people are looking at both sides, you know, and trying to look at them objectively, you know, because even if you do look at both sides, you're already carrying a bias, you know, towards either against Republicans or against liberals.
Right.
So you look at, you know, you like you said, I'm gonna use that example that you used of Shapiro, you know, and they look at both of those videos, you know, and say, let's say they're a liberal.
Right.
So they look at their liberal side and they're like, yeah, that's great, you know. And then they are like, I'm gonna see what the Republicans are saying, the conservatives. So he goes in Shapiro and he's like, I don't think he's right, you know. But he's already going with that bias that he's a liberal,
right?
You know. And as a comparison to you, you know, you're going pretty objectively, you know, looking at both things objectively. And I think when you do that, you can see the fucking dumbness, dude. You know, you can see right through it, dude. It's dumb, you know, right? And I mean, I see it all the time too. And when it comes to like social media, you know, and the news, on I mean, like I told you, I get all these, like as soon as I wake up in the morning, I get like articles from like Al Jazeera, The Guardian, Reuters, like all these different media newspapers,
right?
Like throughout the world, not just the U.S. You know, and you can kind of see how each newspaper labels their story. It's the same story, but how they feed it to you, right? You know. Like when I heard about the women in Atlanta, the headline for Al Jazeera, it was 6 Asian women killed. That was it. And then you looked at another one, Atlanta massive shooting leaves 8 people dead. So you see the difference, like how they kind of feed it to you, right? And then you go and read it, and then it's the same story. They just feed it differently, right. I mean, and it's not so ridiculous, but it's just the way they want to portray the story. You know, right? What are they trying to get out of that, though? Is it just like playing off of people's beliefs, like general beliefs? Well, I think they want to. I think what they want to do with it is just to shape people's perceptions of the story. You know, like American newspapers are gonna shape it differently because they don't want America to look like the gun capital of the world. You know, the bad capital where mass shootings always happen. So they're gonna label differently to the world. Whereas Al Jazeera, The Guardian, Reuters, maybe they'll be more objective in that subject and they'll give it to you how it is, you know? Right. So because you don't want to say that, well, all these shootings are happening because of guns, right? So exactly. They'll point out like all the mental illnesses or all the issues. So you'll see the difference when the stories they come out. So that's why I like having different sources on there. Yeah. But I mean, when it comes to, and I guess you can just say politics because it always comes back to politics, the dumbness, the right and the left. They don't want to look at the other side, and that's why the past 4 years the country's been so polarized. Right. Because nobody wants to, like I told you in the last episode that it's gonna be really soon. Nobody wants to talk about it, you know, about something that really bothers them or that they don't agree with. They rather just shut the door and ignore it. Not even ignore it because they're not even listening, but just cover their ears and just go with what they believe, you know. And then they're gonna go on YouTube or on Facebook and social or whatever, and then be sold whatever they see that is gonna reaffirm their beliefs, right? You know, rather than, well, let me step on this side now and see how it is over here. Do people just generally like that? I think tribalism. Rogan always mentions that it's our tribal instincts. We want to always be part of one group. Part of a group. Yeah. I think that's what it is. I mean, how do people believe in conspiracy theories, But there has to be a group. Dude? There has to be a group that's like, "Hey, bro, this is nonsense." Yeah, there is. Like I can't be like watching one. The side. Centrist, right? Yeah. Because think about this, bro. Right? Think about this, right? And it's like,
So you're watching. I don't know if you saw Joe Biden fell today when he was or today. Or
Oh
yesterday.
God, did he really?
When he fell, when he was
man.
he tripped going up the stairs.
Dude, every time that dude comes up, I'm like, I'm nervous.
Okay, listen. Okay. He tripped going up the stairs into the plane or whatever, right?
Oh my God. Bro.
But here's the thing, right? You'll watch like I don't know, like I said, you'll watch like super conservative, like, man, he's on the decline, man.
Yeah,
you know
dude.
what I mean? Like that's it, man. It's like you never tripped on a
He's
fucking
an Adderall.
stairs. Like you never tripped on stairs before, bro. Going
Right.
up, or like when like Trump, like Trump was drinking water like this or whatever, or he was walking down the stairs super
He
slow.
has small hands.
Or yeah, or like he's walking down the stairs when he went to like the army graduation,
yeah.
and he was like walking all slow.
Yeah.
And like on CNN, they were like, "Oh man, he's on the decline, man. Look at him. He can't even walk
Right.
down and things." It's like, why, dude? Like, what does that have? Like, why do you have to push that in that sense? Like, what do I care if? Honestly, dude, what do I care if Biden tripped on stairs? I trip on my own stairs
Right.
going up my stairs at the house. And no one makes, well, hey, Jonathan, you're on a decline. It's like,
Right.
no. It's like it's being sold to you because you just want to believe that he's on a decline.
Because you already believe that he is.
Yeah, and
it
now it's
affirms that belief,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, because
Because I
he's
see,
like,
I knew it. That
Yeah.
dude's old. He's not fit to be president. The election was rigged. You know?
yeah, exactly. And it's
It
like,
exactly reaffirms that belief.
it has nothing to do with that. Though.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I'm like, are you guys stupid? Like, have you never tripped? Like, next time I trip on, bro, I'm just going to be like, I'm down the downhill, dude. I'm old. I can't walk up the
dude, I
stairs.
trip all the time.
Do you understand what I'm
My ankle
saying?
always gives up on me.
That's just the stuff that frustrates me, though.
Yeah. No,
Because
I
who
know.
buys that?
It's the dumbest little things, you know?
Yeah, who buys that? Who's on?
Well,
Dude,
to,
who makes that connection?
to that
dude?
point, you know, who buys that and people are stupid? I mean, dude, like I mentioned last week, like, people believe in the
No, I didn't. Hold on. I didn't say people are stupid. I said who buys that.
Oh, I said people are stupid.
I don't want anybody.
Dude, there's. I mean,
Look, if
people
this
believe
podcast
that-
comes up big, that was Jair. I did not say people are stupid.
Dude,
I'm just
people will
saying.
Forget about this after.
Think
next week.
about. Think about.
No, not people
both
are
sides.
stupid, but I'm saying their beliefs
Nah,
are
too
stupid.
late, bro. That was Jair.
Their beliefs are pretty stupid, dude. I mean, you have people who believe the earth is flat. You have the QAnon people, the QAnon people, you know. So, I mean, and those people are like devoted, dude. So,
Are they stupid though? Or are they really
their
smart?
beliefs are stupid.
Hold on. You're coming over here, dude, and I'm gonna call you out right now. You coming over here and you're like, dude, Alex Jones, that guy's smart.
Dude, he is.
Okay, bro.
He is smart,
Get the
dude.
fuck out of here.
I'm not. Some of the things he says are really stupid, dude.
Okay,
I'm
all
not
right.
gonna say a lot. Well,
A lot of things.
I haven't really heard much of him. Like I said,
Yeah.
I a lot of these characters, I hear them on Rogan, and then if I'm really interested, then I go do some research and I go like look them up or whatever.
Do you think social media
But-
makes
but
you
hold
into
on,
a
hold on.
character though? This is my thing. It's like, do we not understand that social media may be making people into characters and not necessarily believe in that?
Wait,
Do you understand what I'm
mean?
saying? So like, I don't know. The other thing that I saw, like Candace Owens. I don't know if you know who she is,
Yeah.
bro. Okay. Well, Candace Owens, bro, she was on.
She's a black chick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has like a new show with Ben Shapiro on his.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And
Dude, I gotta watch these shows, man.
dude, okay, listen. And she's on Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan's like,
Oh, that's right.
climate change. And she's like, yeah, I don't believe in that. And he goes, why not?
Yeah, you mentioned
96%.
this last episode about
Yeah.
the scientists, right?
Yeah, like 96% of the scientists believe this. Yeah, but I don't believe this. Right? But then, like, Joe Rogan pushes her.
Right.
And, like, pushes her. And she's like, but, honestly, I wouldn't say this in front of... Like, if I went to a college, I would just say, I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't... Whatever. And she goes, and why do you not just... He goes, why do you not just say that?
Right.
It's like, because I don't believe in it. It's like, okay, bro, fuck. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I feel like at some point, like, you become a character in the sense of, like, you're just selling whatever you think your people want. And I feel like that becomes a very much issue.
So it's
Like, you're
not,
telling
it's not
me that-
really. So
Like,
you don't really shape your audience. You're saying your audience shapes you.
Yeah, like, eventually your audience shapes you. Because, for example, like
I
Andrew
think for,
Schultz.
like Alex Jones. Yeah.
Like Andrew Schultz.
Okay.
Right? Like Andrew Schultz. People go watch his podcast, both podcasts.
Yeah.
because they know that he's not gonna say one thing or the other. You don't even know what the fuck he's gonna say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like some days he'll be like, "Oh, why the fuck are we wearing masks?" And the other days he'll be like, "Hey, I think we should be wearing masks."
Right.
Kind of things, right? And it's different than like when you watch, I don't know, like Kirk. What's that fool's name? Charlie Kirk. No, what's that fool? Yeah, Kirk.
Kirk. Yeah, Charlie Kirk. I think.
Charlie Kirk, right? And it's like, dude, like he'll say one thing, and it's like, dude, that doesn't even make sense to your own argument. I don't even want to say to anybody else's argument, just to your own argument. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, why should we listen?
But that's because the people want to hear that.
I want to have my own choice. I don't want to wear a mask.
Right.
I want to have my own choice. But you know what? Seatbelts are okay. Well, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying. That these people eventually they're feeding on to they're catering to their audience that they built.
Like,
that's
why not be able to? Like, why not?
Well, that's
Charlie
why Rogan,
Kirk.
That's why Rogan is still number one, dude, because he just does his podcast.
Yeah,
he doesn't
he
cater to anybody.
He just talks about.
And he always said it. He's like, I don't analyze my shit because then I'm scared that I'm gonna see something I don't like and I'm gonna start changing. Right. So I think yeah, most of these people, they cater to their audience what they want to hear, rather than just keep doing what they've been doing all along, and then the audience just grows. It's
impossible. Here's my thing. It's impossible to believe that everything that Trump did was correct.
Oh yeah.
It's impossible. It's literally impossible.
Right.
Because that means that he was perfect. And nobody
illogical,
right? Nobody is perfect.
Right.
And that's the issue I have, is that you should be able to analyze and criticize whoever you believe.
Yeah.
Is what it is, right? And it's like, that's what you should do.
Right.
Like, you should be able to, it doesn't matter who you are, what you do, whatever it is. Like, you should be able to analyze, criticize, and it doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, or whatever it is. Right? If you like Bernie and Bernie does something wrong, you should be able to be like, that was wrong.
You should come out and
that was wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's okay, because he's not the guy that I watched.
You should call him out under bullshit.
Roberto Martinez makes it as simple as possible when I watch his episodes. Sometimes we treat politicians as if they were soccer teams.
Okay.
No matter what your team does, you're still gonna root for them.
Right.
They're the best.
Right.
No matter what. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's not the way.
No, they're supposed to work for us, right?
Yeah, like they're politicians. They're human beings. You shouldn't love them for like every single thing. It's like it's not a fan base. Like,
exactly. Yeah, you shouldn't idolize them.
And it's impossible. I hardly know anybody who is 100% one way or the other. Like, it's almost impossible. Like, it's literally almost impossible to be 100% one way or the other.
Yeah. I mean, I know people who have defended everything he did. Like, everything he said, everything he did, it's like they have something to say.
Right, but if you go up to him and you're like, you think that gay guy should die? They're like, nah, I don't think so. Okay, well, I guess you're not a conservative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you think that gay guy shouldn't get married?
That's what I mean. I know people that would defended everything he did, everything he said.
Right.
But when you put him in that situation, then
it's not the same shit.
And I'm not. I mean, they're my friends. They're not racist. They're not.
Right.
What's the other word? Misogynist or none of that.
All right.
So
that's it. I think we're good here because that was a long ass episode.
Yeah, but to end that point, I think just like I said, people should just look at both sides, dude. People should be more interested in just what other people got to say.
Right.
Even if it makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah. Like, honestly, that conversation I felt like was gonna be uncomfortable about the Asian crime thing that happened in Atlanta. But I feel like it's
got to be talked about.
Yeah, like, I feel like, and it's okay to talk about it in that way. Like,
and you shouldn't get canceled for it.
No.
Exactly.
No, I mean, I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think so. I think, it's just tough, man.
Yeah.
It's tough because, like, in this situation, I don't see it as a bad thing that it was labeled as it's a hate crime. I mean, some people may say it's a bad thing. I understand, but
I would have to look more into it.
Yeah.
Why would it be a bad thing?
yeah, exactly.
I mean, like I said,
But
I didn't say it was a bad thing.
No,
whether
right.
It was labeled or not. I just
Don't think it was it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. Like, if somebody hears you say that, are they gonna cancel you? Are they gonna be upset? And I feel like no, because
Well, you don't know.
we had a conversation, and it was like,
Right.
well, I believed one thing, and you believed another, and we're still here, like just talking like nothing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the thing. Like, do I think that now that you leave, I'm be like, damn, Jair hates Asian people?
Yeah.
Nah, you know what I mean?
Right.
I just think like in this situation, you don't necessarily believe that it was a hate crime, but you do believe that hate crimes can happen against
Right.
Asian people, which have been on a rise, for
Right.
example, right?
And that's why I was defending. Well, not defending, but I was saying that Pierce Morgan.
And this, yes,
What
in
he said,
situationals,
you know.
it has to be analyzed in a variety of different
Yeah.
ways. I guess, yeah, but that's it. All right, that was our episode.
So that's it for today. We'll be back next week, and we'll be releasing 2 episodes this weekend.
Let's hope. We tried to record this. I don't know if it worked or not, but that was your episode. And we'll see if I start my other podcast soon as well.
Yeah, dude, you have to.
I'll try. All right, everybody. This was your podcast, the Specifically Random podcast.
TSRP.
Let's go. And Jair's going to make a logo, and we're out.
Yep.
That's it.
Peace.
Let's go.